nobody wants to destroy the world. Let me ask you a tough question. So you are very likely to be one of, if not the person that creates AGI.
One of. And even then, like, we're on a team of many. Yep. There will be many teams.
But
several teams.
Small number of people, nevertheless, relative.
I do think it's strange that it's maybe a few tens of thousands of people in the world. A few thousands of people in the world.
But there will be a room with a few folks who are like, holy shit.
That happens more often than you would think now.
I understand this. I understand this.
But yes, there will be more such rooms.
Which is a beautiful place to be in the world. Terrifying, but mostly beautiful. So that might make you and a handful of folks the most powerful humans on Earth. Do you worry that power might corrupt you?
For sure. Look, I think you want decisions about this technology, and certainly decisions about who is running this technology, to become increasingly democratic over time. We haven't figured out quite how to do this, but part of the reason for deploying like this is to get the world to have time to adapt and to reflect and to think about this, to pass regulation, for institutions to come up with new norms, for the people working on it together. Like, that is a huge part of why we deploy, even though many of the AI safety people you referenced earlier think it's really bad. Even they acknowledge that this is like of some benefit. But I think any version of one person is in control of this is really bad.
So trying to distribute the power sometimes.
I don't have, and I don't want like any like super voting power or any special like the, I have no like control of the board or anything like that of OpenAI.
But AGI, if created, has a lot of power.
How do you think we're doing? Like, honest, how do you think we're doing so far? Like, how do you think our decisions are? Like, do you think we're making things net better, worse? What can we do better?
Well, the things I really like, because I know a lot of folks at OpenAI, the thing I really like is the transparency, everything you're saying, which is like failing publicly, writing papers, releasing different kinds of information about the safety concerns involved, doing it out in the open is great. Because especially in contrast to some other companies that are not doing that, they're being more closed. That said, you could be more open.
Do you think we should open source GPT-4?
My personal opinion, because I know people at OpenAI, is no.
What does knowing the people at OpenAI have to do with it?
Because I know they're good people. I know a lot of people. I know they're good human beings. From a perspective of people that don't know the human beings, there's a concern of a super powerful technology in the hands of a few that's closed.
It's closed in some sense, but we give more access to it.
Yeah.
Than, and like, if this had just been Google's game, I feel it's very unlikely that anyone would have put this API out. There's PR risk with it.
Yeah.
Like, I get personal threats because of it all the time. I think most companies wouldn't have done this. So maybe we didn't go as open as people wanted, but like, we've distributed it pretty broadly.
You personally and OpenAI as a culture is not so like nervous about PR risk and all that kind of stuff. You're more nervous about the risk of the actual technology, and you reveal that. So the nervousness that people have is because it's such early days of the technology, is that you will close off over time because more and more powerful. My nervousness is you get attacked so much by fear-mongering clickbait journalism that you're like, why the hell do I need to deal with this?
I think the clickbait journalism bothers you more than it bothers me.
No, I'm third person bothered. Like,
I appreciate that. Like, I feel all right about it. Of all the things I lose sleep over, it's not high on the list.
Because it's important. There's a handful of companies, a handful of folks that are really pushing this forward. They're amazing folks, and I don't want them to become cynical about the rest of the world.
I think people at OpenAI feel the weight of responsibility of what we're doing. And yeah, it would be nice if, like, journalists were nicer to us and Twitter trolls gave us more benefit of the doubt. But like, I think we have a lot of resolve in what we're doing and why, and the importance of it. But I really would love, and I ask this like of a lot of people, not just if cameras are rolling, like any feedback you've got for how we can be doing better. We're in uncharted waters here. Talking to smart people is how we figure out what to do better.
How do you take feedback? Do you take feedback from Twitter also? Because the sea, the water
My
quality.
Twitter is unreadable.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do. I can like take a sample, a cup out of the waterfall. But I mostly take it from conversations like this.